At 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, at 7 years old, I was traveling to school by myself, but having the worst commute because it always began with this long, cold, and lonely walk to the subway. And especially living in East New York, Brooklyn, where it's very dangerous and I never felt safe, that made an impression on me that, transportation was important to not only my livelihood, but how I perceive the world. Transit deserts are places that people have remarkably limited access to public transportation. So that could be living too far away from a subway or needing to wait more than 15 or 20 minutes for the nearest bus. In these places, people can't really rely on public transportation because it's too infrequent or unreliable for them to commit to. I personally remember what it was like to live in a transit desert. I knew intuitively that not everyone lived the same way. I'm Sanni, one of the founders and CEO of Dollaride, which is a mobility company for communities that are underserved by public transit. The way Dollaride works is actually pretty unique. We have a product, which is a mobile application that taps into a network of drivers who are all known as dollar vans or dollar van drivers throughout New York City. This network is comprised of hundreds of independent commercial drivers who own their own vehicles, but basically operate along fixed routes around the city, picking up and dropping off passengers for only $2. So through the Dollaride app, you can actually find a driver, identify a route, and hop in that vehicle to head to your end destination through that route. My cousin is actually a driver, and funny enough, his dad was one of the pioneers of the dollar van industry here in New York City. In the 1980s, when we went through a series of transit strikes from the MTA, dollar vans started to pop up because entrepreneurial people in the outer boroughs saw an opportunity to transport their friends, family members, and neighbors to the nearest subway or the nearest station where they could actually, hop on a ride. Now, 30 years later, I guess the family business has perpetuated itself. There's actually over 2,000 drivers who run this system. I really think about getting close to the people and observing how they live their lives, observing the challenges that we face on a day-to-day basis, because at some point you'll notice an opportunity to make someone's life better, and that could be, the kernel for your next business idea.